the train.
Hi, welcome to Miller's Deal in Engage. Or is it? Well, it's obviously not, because it's different wallpaper. You see a window to the right that wasn't in the garage. The layout in the garage had a visit from Mr. Beeching and it has been cut, removed, demolished. It's sad, but that's life. I had too much problems with damp and water coming from the funding up towards the layout, so I had to break down the layout, and there were just two options: or move back inside, or rip out the flooring and build in a new floor and then build again the layout again. But that would be just really expensive, so I have decided to move back into the house. I didn't want to go back to the attic because I first set my layout to the attic, but with the how do you say, curving with the roof, I was keep banging my head again against it, and I wasn't really happy with that. So I moved into the study room, kicked my companion out, and I claimed it for the Model Railway Society. So now we have an engaged layout in the study room inside of the house. We have central heating, we have a toilet nearby, there's coffee nearby. It's a really nice place to be, and we have a good window so there is sunlight coming in. It's just really nice being in this room, I must confess. So, a new room, new ideas. So, when I was thinking about new ideas, hey, maybe I can build Kingswear. Years ago I bought a book about the station and the line towards Newton Abbot from Kingswear, and I was like, yeah, I do really like Kingswear. I had the idea of making it in the garage, but that would be too small, and I had other ideas. But for this room, Kingswear was a really nice station to build, and I really wanted to have a harbour on the layout, because I always see that on Facebook and other sites. It really looks nice having a harbour on your layout. So it should be Kingswear and Engage. But when you have the Kingswear, the line goes to Newton Abbot, and Newton Abbot is just too big for this room to build, and it would make me have to invest more in points and more points and more points, because it's a big station and I didn't want to break the bank again. So I decided I would need a fictional station at the end of the branch line. So I was looking around on the internet, and then I found a plan of the station of Poolborough in the southern region. And it was kind of checking most of the boxes that I want, but not everything, because I needed a junction station. But the track plan was easily adjusted to my needs, so now Poolborough has become Kingston, and it's now a junction station. So we have a main line, which is western region, of course, now. So there's a main line and there's a junction with the branch line going to Kingswear. So in front of we have the new track plan from Poolborough, or Kingston as I'm now going to refer it, with 3 center tracks, 3 platforms. There will be a cattle yard in the back where the bridge is. There's a water tower on the right. There will be a signal box just in front of the station building, which will not be coming there, but it's a small room now, so I have things standing everywhere. It's a bit crowded, so I had to clean up a bit before I make this video. So let me take you through the plan a bit. This is the back scene. Trains will come into the station from the left, out of the helix. Then they go into the station. Goods trains can use the center track. Then you go to the right. There will be a goods yard here in front, which I thought was a really nice idea of the original station. So you have the goods right next to the train station. And it's just nice, because with layouts that I had and the layout that my father used to have on his attic, he had the station in the back and a goods yard in front. So you could have a really nice camos with the goods yards with people and trucks and all. But I like public transport, so I also like to build the square in front of the station. So with this idea, it's a bit of both worlds. So I can build a station square here in front and a goods yard. So that was just a big plus again for the station. And in real life, this station wasn't in a curve, but we all have our limitations. And with the platforms on Millersdale and Engage, I got some experience making platforms in curves, and it just looks really nice. So we also got a few HST coaches here. The platform is now probably just for 5 coaches and 2 engines, but there is a little bit of room on the left to extend the platforms, because I really actually want to have 6 coaches and 2 engines, but I can always have the HST only stop on the platforms needed on the station side, because I can extend those easier than the platform on the back. But that is for the future now. I still need to have to lay those tracks, and I'm still thinking how I'm going to do that. So we move to the right a bit, passing to here. This is the window where I can look outside, pondering about my ideas. So the purple line is going behind, the green lines is going down, and the green lines, the main line of course, will go up to the right here. So the main line will move up here about 5 centimeters. And the purple line will go down about 5 centimeters, but we will first follow the green line. It will pass over this pile of points, which I still need to have to sort out, but they're always in the way. So we go a bit to the right, and here we have the second fiddle yard. Where the timber stands in the back, there will be a tunnel portal where the train goes into the tunnel and into the second fiddle yard, and below this pile of junk there will be the second fiddle yard. Will be containing just 3 tracks, because I just don't have more space to add more tracks, or I had to build another helix, and that would also mean I have to spend more money, and well, I usually have only 2 or 3 trains running at the same time, so 3 tracks would be enough, I think, and if not, it's just limitations of the hobby. So there will be 2-3 tracks. So the train will come in on the left, of course, and it turns around and goes back into the Kingston station, out on the other side, down. So we go to the right to explain that. So it will go down here into the, let's roll this down into my helix, which I made all by myself. I use Kato tracks because it's way easier to lay Kato tracks on the helix, and it just works marvelously. I just had my first test run today, so I'm still pretty excited about it. So the train will come down into the helix, and it comes out. Then we move this a little bit closer, you can see it. So when the train comes here, there will be 8 tracks for the fiddle yard here. There's also my class 37, my first Engage locomotive, which I bought when I started with the British ideas. It's just a lovely engine, it works always. We are great pals, he always helps me testing my tracks. So we have all the cables going towards the Occupy, I don't know how you call it in English, but there are, let me just show you, there are these strings from DigiKais. They register if there is a train on the track, and they send a message towards the computer, so the computer knows which train is, and that is just for automatic control if I want to. So we have 8 tracks here in the fiddle yard. Maybe a tip for people who want to have their wires a little bit organized. I use the back of, well, I don't know how you call it in English, but you can see I use the back of maps to put the wires through, and it keeps it really tidy. I have placed them everywhere on the layout, so I just pull the wires through, and it just stays in place. It looks really nice, and it keeps the layout tidy, and it's easier for fault control in the end. So we go a little bit to the right. There's another points at the end of the feeder yard again, and then the train goes to the right to there, and that's just a return loop. You can't see it below the junk, but it's just a return loop. It's just a return loop, so it goes in and back again, and there's a small return loop device to control the polarity of the tracks. So then the train comes back again, of course, on the front tracks, and it goes back into the helix again, up, and then to the right it goes like this, passing the station again, and then we can take the junction over the purple line, and it goes to the right, and it goes down over the pile of points again, and then it comes here in front, in the center, so not in front but in the center a bit, and then it turns to the right, and it stays in the center, moving a little bit to the front so I can have room for my station square and some scenery, because I don't want to place many buildings around this station. It's just probably will look too cramped, and I just like trees, grass and all that stuff, not really into the buildings things. So the track will come from the right in the center, and it goes to the right of the helix, and then it will be two tracks going around the helix to the left here until about there, and then it would go in a straight line like that. And there I will probably be going to use the bridge in the back to place here in front, because it's always nice to reuse stuff which you have. And then the tracks branch line stays in front. Bloody hell. It stays in front of here, and stays in front, of course, and then here it goes a little bit to the back, because you can see the timber is a little bit lower, because this is where the tracks will follow the water, just like in real life. So we go to the right here, and here we have there will be the ferry point, just in real life. There is also a ferry you can buy from Architect. It's a Dutch brand. Not sure if I'm going to use it, because I think it's probably expensive, because if you say Architect, you know it's going to be expensive. Just moving the camera a bit. But then it will probably come here. But this will be the ferry point. It's a nice thing to add on the layout. Then we go to the right, we going into Kingswear. These are the stabbing point, I believe you call it in English, where I can put wagons and coaches or an engine waiting for his job. Then there will be a factory in the back. It wasn't there in real life, but I have the factory, and it's a nice addition to the station, I think. So there's something fictional added to Kingswear. There in real life there should be a bridge here where the water can go below and to the back of the turntable. There was all water, but well, not on this style obviously. I have decided to add a small engine depot with 2 tracks for maintenance in it. So just to add a little bit of operational interest, I used a bigger turntable from Fleischmann because I want to automate my layout with iTrain 5. And there will be a large, how do you call it? Yeah. There will become a device below it, and it will operate the turntable for me in iTrain, so the computer exactly knows which direction the turntable is, and it will adjust the polarity for you. So it's a really nice option for that. So the engine can run, the computer can have the engine run into the turntable can turn around, and the polarity will be operated by the computer. So you don't have to press buttons or anything. It's just really nice and easy. But well, it's gonna cost another 200 euros to add that option, but it will be well worth it. Here on the top left there we have the some few extra tracks where I can place a few coaches. It's a little bit short, but well, you always have space limitations, so I can probably have there 8 coaches, I think, maybe 7 at least, for the Cornish Riviera train or whatever, just like in real life. So there will be there will be a back scene here where the wagons are, so you can't see the fiddle yard, just like in well, yeah, and you go to the right here. Here we have Millis. Keep want to say Millisdale, but it's now Kingswear and Engates. In front of us we have the queue side. There will be 2 cranes. Probably on the most outer point on the right, where the wooden pole is, there will be a lighthouse. It's not like in real life again, but somehow I do like lighthouses, so I'm probably going to add one on the right, but I'm still contemplating if I'm going to do that, because it's also the way where I come into the room, and maybe I'm going to hit it every time when I come into the room. So it's still something which I'm thinking about, but not sure yet. But you never know. It's still early starts with the layout. There you can also see my goods shed already, just like in real life, but it's a different one, maybe a little bit bigger, I think. But I have it from the old layout, so I want to reuse it again. There will be one single big platform from the here from the left, going like that, all the way to behind the goods shed, and there will be of course a station building with another station square. And on the back scene we will have a street going slightly up, just like in Kingswear and I will going to use half relief houses for the back scene. So you can still have a little bit of the city scene to make it a little bit like in real life. So let's go just one more time around. Just in a brief flight. There will also be a goods yard here in front with trucks and things unloading from the wagons, and a lot of coal wagons, because it was a busy port for the coal traffic for the gas factory near Newton Abbot. So we obviously going to replicate that. I already have several coal wagons, so I probably need more, so I can make a really nice prototypical movements on the layout, I think. At least it will entertain myself, so that's probably the most important. So we go to the left again, past the big turntable and the small engine depot for low maintenance stuff. And then we follow this. You can see the timber is also lower than the actual shelf where the tracks is on. So there will be a little bit of water here in front. Maybe going to add, like say, 5 centimeters for the water edge to make the water all go around the layout. So it will go all the way in front of the layout like this, in front of here where the controls are now, for now, in front of here, and it will end here on the left, and then the train will just follow the contours of the layout in front, going into a tunnel here, having 2 tracks going around the helix, so I can add a little bit more movement on the layout. And it comes out again here, goes in the center, a little bit higher than the tracks in front, so you have actually 3 levels of tracks when you sit in the center room here. So it stays in the center, then makes a U-turn. I still have to make a cut in the timber in the back, and then it goes like this, up in the bank and moving into the I believe it's I don't know how you call it in English again, but into into the expensive point, and then the trains can decide if they want to stop at the station, or goods trains can use the center track again to stop and wait before they are allowed to go on the main line. And then the train goes to the left into the helix. It goes down to the feeder yard and it comes back out of the helix, and then they can run all the way to the other helix and then come back again through the station, through the helix into the first 30 yard and then again back up again, and then they can move back over the junction toward Kingswear. So you can have a really diverse movement of trains. So this is a bit for today. It's a little bit of me explaining how the layout is going to be. If you have any tips or suggestions, leave it in the comment sections. And I hope to see you soon and I can show you how the train is running, because the next project will be, for now, is to fix the timber on the left. I have to drill 2 holes in it and then I can fix it in place, and then it's time to lay down some tracks with the 2 center tracks, and then the 3 tracks here I want to have down within the next 2 weeks at least, probably this week I think, because I'm off this weekend. So the 2 center tracks are the most important tracks here, and the tracks towards the 30 yard, so I can have a train run around, and so that would be really nice. So, and on that last plan, I leave you with a view of Kingswear again. And thank you for watching, and if you like it, please hit the thumbs up button and please subscribe. Thank you, bye bye.